What's up, Irish Nation? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com here at the Golden Dawn. Cannot thank Johnny Naples enough for all he does for Ursuline Football and Ursuline High School athletics. Holy War Week, Week 10, junior player profile with junior linebacker Lorenzo Rohrbaugh. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk defense for a little bit. But before we get into defense, talk a little bit about Lorenzo Rohrbaugh. Talk about your family a little bit and your path to Ursuline High School.
Well, I have great parents, a great mom, and a great dad. But I started at Canfield, actually.
Okay.
I made a choice to come to Ursuline for high school. It was a big choice to make, to leave schools and
Sure it is.
go to a new school.
Talk about that choice a little bit. When did you realize that Ursuline was the right spot for you to be at?
Well, my brother came here first, and that was kind of I was like, all right, I'm not at Ursuline. Then,
Sure, absolutely.
After a while, I was like, Ursuline's I want to be at Ursuline. They're going to get better every year. And, Coach Rand's back now. I'm like,
no question. With Lorenzo Rohrbaugh, let's talk about your family a little bit. They're here tonight, obviously. Do you know where they're at during games, I guess, is my question.
Not really.
No?
No.
Okay, so, Quinn, we're getting up to about over 50% on some know where mom and dad are at and some don't know where mom and dad are at. But for you, how exciting is that to have them be a part of Ursuline football, be a part of watching you play every week, being part of all the traditions here at Ursuline High School? I know they're proud of everything you do, but how important are they to you in your football career?
It means a lot. They're always supporting me, whatever I do, how I feel like. If they hurt a little bit, all right, let's get better.
Okay.
We need to get better.
No question. Well, shout out to mom and dad from all of us at YSN. They're always a part of Ursuline High School. They're always a part of Ursuline football. So shout out to them. But with Lorenzo Rohrbaugh, let's get into this defense a little bit. I talked to you off air. I've done a lot of football games. I don't ever remember 3 consecutive possessions. And I want to say we were up 14-8, I think was the score, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And we scored 3 defensive touchdowns in a row. You're that guy in the middle of the defense. What does it do for a defense when you see your defense score 3 times?
It's crazy. It amps everyone up.
Sure,
Everyone's
it does.
like, let me get one out.
Have you ever been a part of something like that until this last week?
I have not, no.
All right, so
let's try to get me one.
Well, yeah, you have to try to get you one. We got Lugers, we got Branch, we got all these big linemen. We need to get the linebackers in the mix. Maybe this week in the Holy War, a touchdown is for Lorenzo Rohrbaugh. How good could this defense be?
It can be great. We had a lot of young players last year, and
No question.
We're all getting better this year, and we're getting better each week.
I want to go. You brought up last year. I want to go back to that for you. And I talk with Coach Reardon a lot. How special, I shouldn't say special, how important were all those extra weeks of practice for underclassmen to get ready to get to a state championship game? But those weeks practice have prepared a lot of you young guys to step into big roles and be a big part of this football team. Talk about last year's experience a little bit.
Yeah, we got a lot of reps, 16 games, and being a sophomore, it's a lot of games to play. And
sure. A lot of games that you're getting in. Yeah, no question. And that carries over to this defense.
Mm-hmm.
When I call this defense, I see a defense that you've talked about, the defensive lineman, solid. I'm going to go to the linebackers. You and Johnny have done a fantastic job, in my opinion, as underclassmen linebackers. And you've talked about this. Those linemen do such a good job of doing what they're supposed to do. It frees up your defense for guys like yourself, Frangos. Don Lowe makes a lot of plays getting freed up. How important are those big boys up front?
It means everything. If they let someone get through and we get blocked, the play can go all the way.
Absolutely. But they do a good job of taking up space. Yeah. And I love talking with them that they don't get a whole lot of love as O-line and D-line. You guys as linebackers and the skilled guys get all that, but those guys do a good job, and you do a great job leading this defense. With Lorenzo Rohrbaugh, junior linebacker for the Fighting Irish, Week 10, Holy War, Cardinal Mooney. What does this rivalry mean to you?
I mean, it's huge. It's the biggest thing we have. Every day of school, all the pep rallies and stuff, it's big, but we have to stay locked in and ready for the game.
And that has to be hard. Let's talk about staying locked in. Okay, so you're going to school every day, and you see kids dressed up differently every day, and you're a football guy, and Coach Reardon doesn't play that game, and that's what I love about him. It's football. It's he understands the rivalry. He's been along in a long time. How hard is that for you guys to remain focused, or do you know you have a job to do?
I mean, for me personally, it's pretty easy. Like, I
We have
let all this
enough.
stuff go.
We have enough student body supporters to dress up like that. When I go to student body, how good is this student body for you guys at a football game? I think it's one of the best, if not the best in the area. Do you hear them during a game at key times?
Yep.
They went crazy on 3 touchdowns in a row. There were kids dancing in that.
Yeah.
I always wanted to know from a middle linebacker standpoint, you hear big plays in the crowd. You hear that.
Yep.
I love that. And I think that's one of the special things about this holy war. There's going to be noise everywhere. It's, I'll say it, the best rivalry in Youngstown, no question about it. Cardinal Mooney is a good football team. I know you guys know that year in and year out. The records mean nothing because this is a game that's going to be one of the best games in the area. But for you to be a starter now, how exciting is it to play in this football game?
It's great. It feels great. Just gotta keep playing my best.
It's going to be a big-time atmosphere. We'll have the game for you on YSN Live. DJ Oakley will be on the call Friday night. I'll be over in Western Illinois, but I promise Irish Nation I will have the iPad out watching the Irish Cardinal game. Lorenzo Rohrbaugh, junior linebacker for the Ursuline Irish. We're going to play some rapid fire. There's no wrong answers. I want to ask you a couple questions. My guy's sitting right over there, so I'm going to say, when I say Coach Reardon, what's the first word that pops into your mind?
A fun guy.
A fun guy. Coach, that's a different one. I'm liking a fun. I have never heard Coach Reardon be considered a fun guy. A teddy bear. Wow. Yeah. Coach, we're going to have to talk about this when you come on. Teddy bear, nice guy, but a good football coach. The biggest rivalry in town Friday night. You're out on the field in pregame. What's Lorenzo Rohrbaugh listening to get you ready to play this football game?
I like War With Us.
War With Us. Okay. Yeah. Quinn, that's a different
go-to songs.
That's one of your go-to songs. Like, you guys have so many different go-to songs in this group that I've done for like 7 weeks now. I think that's who's in charge of the music for the Ursuline Irish on this football team?
Isaac Lucas.
Isaac Lucas is in charge of music for this. That kind of explains everything to me. We had Isaac on here. Role models. When Lorenzo's having a bad day, nothing seems to be going right. Who's your go-to?
My mom.
Mom?
Yep.
That's a good answer. Mom is the role model. Shout out to Mom for sure. I know she's awful proud of you and all you've accomplished, and a lot more to accomplish at Ursuline High School. Lorenzo Rohrbaugh, junior player profile here, starting linebacker for the Irish at the Golden Dawn. Cannot thank Johnny Naples enough for all he does. Another good crowd on Holy War Week. Tuesday night we'll start Holy War Week here. Favorite college football team?
I like LSU.
LSU.
Yep.
Boy, Quinn, that's a different answer there. LSU. Okay. Favorite pro football team?
The Browns.
The Browns. Yeah.
It's tough.
It's hard to say that week in and week out. Every week I think we're going to be good. We don't do those types of things, so that's okay. All right. Favorite class you've had at Ursuline High School, and a shout out right here on YSN to your favorite teacher.
I liked chemistry a lot with Mrs. DePizzo.
Mrs. DePizzo in chemistry. Shout out to Mrs. DePizzo. Chemistry, that's not an easy class, so shout out to her and congrats to you. When I talk school, Ursuline's the best institution, in my opinion, around. It's a great education. How important is education? I know your parents push that. How important is education for someone like you that probably wants to play at the next level?
It's huge. It matters, like, almost more than like how good you can play. Like,
no, there's no question about that. That's a great answer. And Coach does it. You guys spend a lot of time at different things with study tables and those. How important is that for you on a time management standpoint, Lorenzo, to fit in school, football, and homework? Time's tough right now.
Yeah, and I procrastinate a lot, so those study tables help me get my work done.
You procrastinate a lot?
A lot.
That's okay. Good people procrastinate. I will say that with Lorenzo here, player profile. How do you want this football season to end?
State championship.
And I say this to a lot of people. I think this football team is talented enough. Some teams say they want to win a state championship, but I think this team is talented enough to win a state championship. Ursuline High School, Lorenzo Rohrbaugh, junior linebacker. He represents Ursuline on and off the field so very well. Has another year left, which is huge. I know you are keyed up about that, but this football team has a lot of things to take care of. Holy War Week will have it for you on ysnlive.com. Friday night, DJ Oakley will be on the call. Come support the Irish Friday night. Lorenzo, thanks for joining us, and best of luck in the Holy War.
Thank you.
All righty.